Hey guys, how you doing? Well, I'm gonna do a follow-up on this four-axis table base on the tailstock for the base for the tailstock on the four-axis machine on the Cincinnati. This is the base. So pretty much the tailstock that is on the shaft over there on the four-axis is gonna be sitting on this side. The tailstock have some slots, and I'm gonna do some holes here, and then you should be able to align it and kind of center it out, depending if you're sitting on a fixture plate or not. Like I am sitting on a fixture plate 1.25 inch, so I definitely have to have some room so I can adjust that clearance on that height on that fixture plate. So right now here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna I'm gonna face off 350,000 on this side, and I'm gonna take a skin pass on this side so I can square that to the bottom side. It's gonna kind of sit like that on the table, and the tailstock is gonna sit on this side. So I need to be a square on the bottom and a square on this side right here. So first I'm gonna do take on the top and then turn it over, and I'm gonna face it off skin pass here. I'm gonna do only 10,000s here, well, depending on how bad it is, but I'm fixing to do 10,000 first and see what it'll do, and then I'm just gonna drill the holes and top them later. But I wanted to show you something because last night I told you I was gonna start cutting this, so I have to face this much. There's a 3/4 of an inch, 750 thousandths on this edge right here. That's how much I took on this side. So I did plan it on doing it on a 3/4 inch mill, and like I showed you in the video, I kind of set my tool and I start cutting, and everything was going good until I got to this part right here. I hope you can see it. See where we took that big old chunk over there. So what happened is, and this is, like I said, I break a lot of mills. You can see that better on this one here. I break a lot of mills because I'm learning, and I did learn something. Something different last night when I was cutting here. So I had to come back inside and change the tool path on it and use a different mill because of this. If you got a 3/4 inch, like I have here, if you got a 3/4 inch radius, if I can say it like that, if you got a 3/4 inch radius and you use a 3/4 inch mill, what happened is, if you're coming in here, let's just say at 25 thousandths, or let's just put it this way so you understand better, 3% or 5% on a 3/4 inch mill, and I'm just taking skin passes right here. Anytime I go in, I'm gonna fall into this 3/4 inch radius right here. I'm way more. I'm getting way more than 5%. Why? Because the mill is gonna stay full inside this whole gap. So we're talking about 20. We're jumping from 5% maybe to a 25 of a 24, 25 or 30% of the mill cut in it, because that 3/4 inch is gonna fully sit on this radius, and it's gonna take a full cut on that hole, and that's when stuff like that happens, and you can break the mill like I did. This is what happened yesterday. So I destroyed the cheap eBay end mill. She was cutting really good. Actually, she's still sharp. And the cut on it was coming out, really good. But anytime it will fall on this hole, instead of just doing, well, you can see there, you can see what I'm talking about. So if you be here and we only taking 25 thousandths cut, we only doing like maybe 3 or 5% of the mill cut. But when we fall into this hole, and the radius of the mill is the same size, the radius and the mill are the same size, what it'll do, the meal is gonna go from 3% cut to a big old, 30 or 25% cut, and it's gonna have a lot of grip, and that grip will create a lot of pull on it and vibrations, and it vibrates so much that it broke that meal over there. Because so what you got to do is anytime you got a radius, make sure. I mean, on my experience, I'm gonna do it like this. Anytime I do it again, my experience is I'm always gonna come back with a smaller meal and do my radius. So what I should have done is with this big meal, get some, cuts out here and probably bigger cuts because it was cutting really nice. So I could just take bigger cuts on the flat side if I got a 3/4 inch radius. Just remember, and then come with a smaller meal that it wouldn't fully sit on that, and like I did later, half-inch meal or 3/8 or whatever, and then create this pocket here. So first we will take the flat part, and then we will do the pocket. So our 3/4 inch meal doesn't have to fully sit on the cut and get like a 25% cut in it and break. And besides, this machine is not that strong. Maybe if I would have done it on the sharp, nothing like that would have happened. But since it's rigid enough, so I can cut these parts and they got decent finish. But not enough balls, if I'm gonna say it like that, to keep that 3/4 inch meal or 25% inside that big old radius over there. So that's what happened last night, and I hope you understand what I said. Remember, always go a smaller meal. Always, try to use a smaller meal on a radius. I don't know how to say it. Well, something like that. I guess you probably understand. The meal always have to be smaller than the radius, if I can put it like that. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna sit on the vise, hide it, and I'm gonna indicate it somewhere in the middle, and so right now I'm sitting on my jaws over there. I'm gonna take a quick just close to it. Now I'm just gonna get my wire on, my probe, hook it up. I'm gonna probe and see. Come down. hundred thousandths of the surface, and I'm gonna do my size first. So that's my X0. Now I'm gonna do my Y0. I just gotta change here the edge length. So I gotta tell Mac here, hopefully you can see it. It says edge length. That's how much you want it to get farther away from wherever you set it at to start coming down and looking for come down and start probing. So you gotta tell here where it says edge length. Right now I just had it on 6.5 inches, which that's about 13 inches. The piece is 13 inches long. So I had it on 6.5 inches. So it went 6.5 to one end and 6.5 to the other one, that's 13. Right now I've just put on one inch, so it's gonna move 1 inch on the Y or the X, but now I'm gonna probe on the Y. So it's only a 1.5 inch piece, so I just put a 1 inch edge on it. So it's gonna look for 1 inch, come down and start looking to probe. It's gonna move 1 inch that way, come down, start probing. Another inch. And that's it. We have our part 0 over there, XY0, XYC0, and so we're ready. So I'll just unplug this, pull my cable out, call my program. I'm gonna be doing the facing base side table. I'm gonna open my program and just call it. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to stop you right there because you won't be able to see nothing. But we're ready. All right, well, I'm gonna have to change my inserts. That didn't went good. Cut is fine. We'll change the inserts on this, which should be fine. Yeah, anytime I hear that, I'm not doing good. Let me just stop it from there. I'm 6, there's 0. Yep. They're bad. I did a lot of facing today, so I'm gonna change them out and then I get back to you.